This is beyond history in the making. This is the first ever legal, state-sanctioned bare knuckle fighting event in Florida history. We are making noise like no other combat sport in history has.
Want to get smacked again? Want to get smacked again? Want to get smacked again? Want to get smacked again?
The Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, or BKFC, is the latest combat sport to get licensed.
Absolutely phenomenal fight.
Its founder says it will soon compete with UFC, which became a $6 billion business by being more action-packed and violent than boxing. In their biggest move yet, BKFC have persuaded former two-time world boxing champion Paulie Malignaggi to come out of retirement and step into their ring.
Paulie the Magic Man Malignaggi.
This fight is different to a boxing match because it's obviously no gloves. It's funny because as society goes to a more PC culture, the combat sports, the thirst for combat sports becomes more violent, you know? Let's face it, bare knuckle boxing was banned 100 years ago. Now it's back.
Paulie is doing everything he can to get back in shape, reducing his oxygen intake while training to increase his endurance.
When you decided to take this fight, what did your friends and family say?
They thought, like, what, you out of your mind? When people see blood and people see broken bones, automatically, because it's visual, they think, oh my goodness, it's so dangerous.
People will say that Paulie Malignaggi comes out of retirement, takes part in a bare knuckle fight.
Yeah,
he must be like all the other boxers, he must be broke.
I hear the rumors, and it's fine. I mean, listen, if I get into my Ferrari and go for a ride and know that's my car, hey man, what do I need to convince you for? You know what I'm saying?
You know, you haven't been hit with bare knuckles, you're practicing with gloves. Like, how are you feeling as the fight gets really close now?
If I think about the fact of, oh my goodness, what is it gonna feel like? You're psyching yourself out. That's not how you approach a fight. You approach a fight understanding your plan for the fight and executing it. I'm going to make his face a mask of blood. That's my plan.
The man behind BKFC is David Feldman, who's been pushing to get the sport legalized for almost a decade.
We wanted it to be fast and exciting. So the fighters, they toe the line, they put their toe on the line. As soon as they say knuckle up, we can start banging. That's what's unique about this. And then what we also did is we developed rules like clinch fighting. So I can clinch you and punch.
Yeah, right.
So we're not just holding each other and the referee's gonna break it. As long as I'm punching, he's gonna let it go.
What would you say to critics who might say people would be willing to pay to see fights with weapons or a fight to the death? Like, just because people are willing to pay for it, doesn't mean you should give it to them, you know?
The hardest part about this was perception. It's barbaric, it's this, it's that. I pitched 28 states, and they all said no. And I found one that said yes. And I knew the fighters weren't really gonna get injured. You don't get as much head trauma, you don't get the brain rattle. I knew I wasn't doing something so crazy. I was just doing something outside the box a little bit.
Just explain the business model.
We need about 40,000 pay-per-view buys, and we need to sell the place out. We're already selling the place out, and we look like we're gonna well exceed those 40,000 pay-per-view buys to break even. Bringing Paulie Malignaggi on was a big step for us. So we were getting a lot of curiosity fans.
And how big do you think it could be in 1, 2, 3 years' time?
I think within another year from now, we're going to have a good TV deal. And I think 3 years from now, we're competing with everybody. If you come to it, you're going to fall in love with it. Not only are you seeing the action, but you hear this. You hear that noise. When you hear it, and it is, even me, promoting it, pushing it for years, and now promoting it, I'm like, man, it's awesome. It's just an awesome sound.
David is excited about the sound of bare knuckle boxing and the chance to make some of the millions of dollars people pay to watch combat sports. For Paulie, this fight gives him the chance to end his career on a high.
Wakey, wakey. Morning, champ. How we doing? There you go.
This is my breakfast. I'm sweating every little part with this. This stuff is like a fighter's best friend. It's called albuline. If you gotta make weight, albuline is your best friend because albuline opens your pores. It's usually used for women to wash off their makeup, I believe. I think anybody wants to be able to walk away from a sport with pride. I'm blessed and grateful that I have this chance to do this in this fight.
Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, the Nightmare!
How's your fist, Paulie? That's the most important. You good so far? The key here in a street fight is when I land punches on you before you land punches on me, you always win the fight.
This is Malignaggi versus Lobov.
What's so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming.
We are now set for the main event of the evening. And it is scheduled for 5 2-minute rounds in the Bare Knuckle Super Welterweight division. What time is it? Tampa, Florida. It's time to knuckle
And speed, baby, and speed all day, all night.
Get him off!
Get on your jab, Paulie. Let it go fast. Speed, baby. Work your jab. Down the middle, speed. Attaboy. Back on the jab. Let me go. How you feeling, champ? How's it looking in there? Good. You're looking really good. Back on your jab. Oh! There you go.
It's the last round. It's fucking desperate, you feel me? You know, you want this or you don't want it.
Attaboy. Cash him coming in. Come on, Cash him coming in. Back on the jab. Back on your jab. There you go. Work, baby. Work that stick. Yeah. How you feeling?
Broke my right hand with the roof top.
Okay.
By unanimous decision, Artem Lobov!
Are you serious? That's a bullshit decision. He won the fight.
The decision didn't go Paulie's way, but the promoter claims pay-per-view sales were between 120 and 180,000 buys, generating between $5 and $7 million in revenue. So it's a decent payday for everyone. And BKFC have already announced their next event.